Good day, this is Sedlow, and welcome to a DCS tutorial. Today we're going to talk about how I make my audio files sound like radio transmissions. This is important, especially if you're using Sound 2 to add some distortion effects to make it sound great. Otherwise, it just does not sound like a real radio transmission. If you use radio transmissions in DCS, just be advised DCS has implemented a new radio system which adds distortion to it. I think the idea behind it is that you don't have to do this sort of thing to make your radio things sound like radio outside of DCS. Kind of works. I don't particularly like it. I think it adds too much distortion. The other thing is that to save many hours of working, mission designers tend to make each radio conversation their separate radio file. So like in one file you'd have the player talk, the AWACS talk, the player talk, the AWACS talk. So like 4 different segments of the conversation. If you use the radio transmission and the effects are applied, it applies to both the player and the other things. So you might hear a bunch of static and bad reception, even if it's the player talking, in which case you shouldn't hear anything because it's just your own voice in your head. And in the headphones, there's a bit of a oh gosh, it's like a live monitor. You can hear yourself and what it sounds like. Anyway, what's the point of this story? Yes, how to make it sound like a radio. So I like to use mono files for whoa, what did I do there? Mono files for my recording. The reason is it saves some space in terms of room on the old hard drive, and it's just the way I like to do it. So let's record something here. All players Dark Star AO update picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit 250 10 miles hot, whatever, something like that, right? That's an AWACS thing. So we got the file here. You can see the volume's fairly low. I do that on purpose because I like to add amplification to it. The reason why I amplify it, a low volume thing, is it adds a little bit of distortion. So this is just how I do it. You could do it your own way. But I'm here in Audacity. I've got the one track. We go effects, volume and compression, amplify. And just I like to just let it do its thing. It takes the loudest part of the file and maxes it out. There we go. All players Dark Star AO update picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit. All right, you get the idea. There's no radio effects applied to this. If you're using DCS radio effects, go ahead and just save this file. It's no problem. But this is how I do it. We go effects, equalizers and filters, high pass filter. Now, the presets, or what I like to use is frequency 1200, roll off 12 decibels. Apply. All players Dark Star AO update picture is multiple groups. For that, there's some distortion there. That's pretty good. Now let's just do the amplification again. There we go. You'll find sometimes, say if you're doing an AWACS, oftentimes you hear the big jets with a distinct tone going out with it. It's like I'll show you what to do here. Add new mono track. Okay, it basically selects what you had already. Go generate tone sine 400, and we'll say 0.005. Generate. All players Dark Star AO update picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit 250 10 miles hot. So 400 hertz tone going on with big heavy jets, I find sounds great. The reason for that is I think the electrical system on these jets runs at 400 hertz, and it sort of bleeds over into the mic. So highlight both tracks, go tracks, mix and render, puts it all down onto one. So here's my AWACS file. I'm going to go highlight what I want, file, export audio, whatever it is, AWACS Save it to your desktop or wherever you like to save it. Don't save it as MP3. DCS only likes WAV files and OGG files. And OGG is the best way to go. It's the smallest file size. I do it in mono. Sample rate's fine at 44/100. I'd put quality down to 0. Personally, I don't see a difference with 10 to 0, and we want a little bit of distortion in there anyway. So we just export that, and it's done. Your file is saved, and then you can bring it into DCS like I explained in the previous tutorial. That's how I do it in Audacity. It's a free program. You could go download that. You could just Google that. I'm not going to put the link in the description. I'm sure you can do it. I am learning Reaper currently. I'm not great at Reaper, so I don't really use it much yet, but I probably will be switching to Reaper. It seems like it's a little bit more powerful of an audio editing thing. But this is Audacity. This is how I do it. This is all I got to say about that, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later.